This is a little skeleton I got from a haunted yard sale.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is a real thing I went to. I like to go yard selling. I like to find fun deals. And I was driving around and I started following these signs that were pretty spooky. It was like a piece of cardboard and then blood red paint painted on it that said haunted yard sale.
I would have gone to. You cannot pass that up.
I couldn't. I was like, this says haunted yard sale.
Yep.
I have to go.
Yeah.
So I went, and it was way up in the hills here. Like, it was some distance away.
Well, I mean, like, if you think about haunted houses, usually, if they're in a neighborhood, they're up on the hill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I followed signs for a long time. So they put the signs out there. So, like a real haunted house, I had to take a real drive to get there.
Yeah.
I got to the haunted yard sale, and they had so much cool stuff that you would appreciate. Plenty of decorations for Halloween, but also just things like this man here who is a skeleton inside a little plastic container, standing upright. He's a little model. And yeah, that was $5 there.
Good. That is a good buy.
It was a good buy. They had a bigger one that was like more accurate. I think it was like 3 feet tall or something, and it was $20. And I was tempted because I was like, I could use a skeleton, like a good skeleton. You know, we could
a good 3 foot tall skeleton.
I think everyone says they could probably use that. You know, but they had some great stuff. They had a great Halloween sounds record that was like narrated and like different spooky stuff was happening, which I like. And I was like, how much for this record? And she was like, oh, this one is not for sale. So this woman and her friend clearly collect Halloween stuff, and they were selling the stuff that they were done with.
That's fantastic. I wish I would have known about that. I would have loved to have gone to that.
Yeah, it was really cool. I was coming home from the gym, and I was just like, I got to follow these signs. So haunted yard sale, real thing, really happened, and here is the remaining piece is Mr. Skeleton here.
You know, I'll tell you a story that's the other side of that coin.
Okay.
You went to a yard sale full of cool Halloween stuff.
Yes.
But I heard a sad story earlier this year. A friend of mine had her storage locker in her apartment broken into, and you know one of the thieves took?
What?
All of her Halloween decorations.
What?
The whole bag.
What?
Yeah.
They looked inside and they were just like, need these.
Yep, they took it. They stole Halloween from her, basically.
Wow.
Can you imagine if all of your because you start accumulating Halloween decorations. If somebody just came and took all of your accumulated Halloween decorations.
Knowing the type of people we are, how much we care about it, I imagine she, you know, really picked out the things that she really liked.
Same. Yes.
What kind of screwed up Grinch is that to go ahead and steal Halloween decorations from a storage locker in Los Angeles?
Yes.
Some kind of monster.
Or addict.
Or addict. I mean, they're probably like, all right, let me see what I can get for money in here. And then they were like, I put all this stuff up around my house.
Oh, I'm tweaking so hard. This bag of Halloween stuff is my ticket to legitimacy. Everyone's going to think I'm normal.
My house is going to be fun. I'm going to have friends.
They ditched that bag. Too bad.
Yeah, that's good. That's the real shame, is that they probably took it, didn't know what was inside, saw, and just kind of got rid of it.
But the good news is I checked in with her during the last week in September to see if she was good on Halloween decorations, because, you know, I was thinking I'm going to have to go and buy her something to put up, a little pumpkin or something.
A concerned fan of Halloween.
And she was like, no, I'm good.
Oh.
So she's everybody out there. It's a sad story, but she's doing okay.
Good.
She got some new decorations. She started her collection anew. It's all good.
I got to ask you, man, did you go to Halloween Horror Nights this year?
I did.
Okay. Wait, I don't know if I don't think I've heard about it. I heard about your visit last year where you saw the guy in the mask from Halloween 3.
Right, and we loved it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Was it the pumpkin or the skull?
It was the pumpkin. The pumpkin and the witch were out, and that's what we freaked out about. And then the skeleton came out from behind us and shook a can of coins and scared us. And we didn't care. It was great.
Coins, that's right.
It was great.
Oh, I love that.
I will say that the Halloween mazes that Universal Studios out here has done have been really great because they're weird. There's an appropriate amount of weirdness, and I think I talked about that a little last time with the different sized Michael Myers.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then there's like the end of it usually is like it's like a weird. You go through it and you get to the end, you come through like a weird dream realm where there's mirrors and like fake Michael Myers, like mannequins, but then there's also real ones mixed in. So it takes on a real funhouse kind of a feel. And they did that with the new maze this year was a sequel to that one.
Oh.
And it took place mostly in the hospital, like the beginning of Halloween 2.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. But I will say overall, I was disappointed this year. Mainly because they usually have scare zones in the park that are themed, usually independent of any kind of intellectual property. So like, there's like a maze for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and there'll be a maze for, like this year they had an Exorcist maze and a American Horror Story maze. And then the scare zones are usually like themed just for spooky themes. Like there was a Christmas one with Krampus and like weird evil Santas walking around one year, and another one where there was like it was like supposed to be France during World War II, but like the characters were demon Nazi soldiers. And,
that's cool.
That was kind of cool. But this year they themed the entire park outside of the houses to The Purge. For some reason.
For real?
They had one Purge area last year, which is fine, but this year it was all Purge everywhere you went. And that was lame. It sucked.
I mean, I appreciate the idea, but I think limiting it to one scare zone is appropriate,
Yes.
Not making the rest of Halloween Horror Nights Purge.
It was lazy. I thought it was lazy.
That's a shame. Yeah, but I mean, it's cheaper for them, I guess, because Purge costumes are just masks.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, they tried to make them elaborate to make it seem cooler than it was, but it wasn't. It was lame. I also only got to go through 2 mazes this year.
Really? Yeah. Did you have to get going?
Yeah, well, because I got there late. And so my friends had gone through a few different mazes without me. The one I really wanted to do was The Exorcist, and I didn't get to go on it.
I saw pictures from The Exorcist, and it seemed pretty neat. I actually kind of wanted to... That made me want to go to Horror Nights, even though I don't like those things I've explained to you. Yeah, it looked like it was pretty cool. That's a shame you didn't get to do it.
We did go through Jason versus Freddy, though.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, that one was pretty good because I think I love Freddy as a character.
Me too.
To me he's equal parts scary and also ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, like as they go on, it's just the Freddy show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is pretty great. They had this cool effect in the maze where when Jason and Freddy. Do you remember in the movie Jason versus Freddy how like when it's like when everything is red, that's when you know Freddy's got the power. Like the balance of power shifts depending on the color.
Sure.
And so like then when things turn blue, then it's Jason again, and then red it's Freddy again. So they kind of played off that in the maze. But there was this great room where they were using projections to project the walls of a boiler room. And then the projections would drop away, and Jason and Freddy would be behind this like screen wall, kind of stalking you. Mm-hmm. But then the projection would come back up, and you wouldn't be able to see where they went. And then they would be in a different spot when it came back down. So it was like the walls were appearing and disappearing around that, and it was a cool effect. It was really cool.
That's awesome. I was talking about Freddy vs. Jason recently. That is a great mashup movie, a monster movie. It is. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
I tell everybody that when that comes up, I'm like, I admit I love that movie. I think it's really fun.
Yeah. I remember seeing it twice in the theater. It's everything you want from Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah.
And like we waited so long for it too.
Yep.
Do you remember I think it was at the end of like Jason Goes to Hell, like Freddy's glove is in the dirt there. And so we had been waiting on it since like they ended those series the first time. Mm-hmm. So it's just really satisfying. But that maze sounds like
the maze was fun.
So you did Freddy vs. Jason and you did the second Michael Myers one?
No, we did American Horror Story instead. That was my reaction too.
I would imagine. I mean, the thing about American Horror Story is that they have great advertisements for that show, but everything I've seen from that show is just not what I want.
It didn't make for a good overall house experience. I think mainly because I didn't recognize a lot of the characters, but also it was very open, and so it was easy to either you were able to catch characters resetting or they just weren't hidden very well. So there was a lot of, I think it was meant to be a maze for people who wanted to walk through, recognize characters and go, oh, look, it's so-and-so. It's that clown with the mouth and stuff like that. But it did provide me with my best scare of the night. And it was at the end of the maze. And if anybody who's still going to go to Horror Nights, don't listen to what I'm about to say because it'll blow up the scare for you. Okay, so at the end of the maze, there's like this weird like bondage hotel room kind of a thing. I don't know I assume it was from hotel, but I didn't know exactly, or maybe it was from Murder House. I'm not sure, but there was like this room and it had this weird swing hanging in the middle, but there really wasn't anything else going on. There was like some creepy talking in the room, and my friends had all gone ahead, and I was stuck back because I was with another friend who was kind of like tentative to go through rooms. Yeah. So slowly the rest of our group got ahead of us.
Gotcha.
And he went one way around this weird sex swing thing that was hanging in the middle of the room. And I went the other way thinking like, he's scared to go this way. I'm going to go this way. And as I was exiting, the characters in that room revealed themselves, and they were actually... Their costumes were the curtains in the room.
Oh, wow.
And so there were just, their hands came out from these curtains, and it was the same color as the curtain. And I shit my pants when it happened. It was really great. It was a super cool effect.
That's awesome, man. Well, at least you got one good scare.
I got that, yeah.
Hey, before we get going here, I do have one more question for you. How about Knott's Scary Farm? When's the last time you've been there?
I've never been to Knott's Scary Farm, but I think that will end next year.
Okay.
If I'm still alive.
I'm going to say...
Because, no one ever knows.
Well, Halloween's coming up, and who knows what's going to... Anything could happen
Anything
on
could
Halloween,
happen.
as Tim Curry has sung.
I've never been to Knott's, but because I'm a fan of haunted events and attractions, I usually go every year, and if I don't go to them, I look them up on YouTube and I watch the houses and stuff. And Knott's always has really cool houses, like with super fun themes. Have you seen any of them?
I haven't seen any of them. I just know that they fog out that downtown area, and like it looks real creepy. So, I mean, it looked up your alley, so that's why I asked. Yeah.
They've got a great one called Paranormal Inc., which I think people have been saying is the best one. And it's like the whole concept is that there's a paranormal investigation team, like the Ghost Hunters or from TV. And of course, when you go in, you're in this factory and they're like, we're going to do a ghost hunt. But then, of course, something goes wrong and they end up opening this portal to the spirit world. And then that's where you are in the rest of the attraction, as you're trying to get out in this from this factory where this portal has been opened up.
That's cool.
Yeah, and there's all these ghost characters, and that looked really cool. But then they did another one this year that I think they started last year, where you get to walk around with these like Halo-looking machine guns, like big video game style machine guns, and it's a zombie. It's like a zombie outbreak, but you actually shoot these guns at the zombie characters, and they have these little balls attached to their head that will turn red if you hit them, and then they're incapacitated for a few seconds.
That's super cool.
Yeah, so that's how you get through the maze.
Oh, man. If you go next year, when you go next year, I would like to go with you.
Oh, Dom's going!
I would like to go. Yeah. I'm going to the Scary Farm.
Yes! Every year I ask Dom to come. Since I met Dom, I've asked him to come to Horror Nights, but he never wants to.
No, it seems too spooky for me.
He's going. We're all right.
Going.
That's it, man.
It's booked.
Not Scary. If anybody from Knott's is listening to this right now, or anybody has connections there, have them get us some tickets.
Yeah. Hey, if you can get us to if you can get them before this Halloween, maybe we'll.
Oh yeah, that's true. We'll go this year.
Hey,
we'll go this year. We'll go see the stuff I just talked about.
If we have tickets, we have to go. So. I'm just saying. I did hear one thing about Scary Farm this year is that they had a VR experience.
Yes.
That was like a mental institution, but people, thought it was insensitive, and they took it down. I thought that was really, respectful of them.
Yeah.
Although, everyone's favorite guy. It comes from a mental institution, Michael Myers. I guess it's not everyone's favorite, but a lot of people love Michael Myers.
Yeah, that was a complicated issue with that attraction. I can see both sides of that. You know, somebody started a petition to actually try to bring it back after they closed it down.
I mean, it sounds like they worked a lot on it. I would like to see it at least. You know?
It was a cool idea, and it's only the first in what are, I think, going to be something that every single one of these, like, large-scale haunted sort of themed nights at the various theme parks are. Everybody will have one eventually. Universal will have one. Knott's will have another one, because this is like the future of stuff. It's super scary. It's really good, and it's cost-effective. Because you don't have to build giant sets for it.
You'll have to play the scary games that Nathan has on his VR thing sometime.
Oh, I've seen a few of those, yeah.
They look... I haven't played them because Nathan always freaks out when he plays them, so I'm always like, oh man, it looks kind of scary.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be able to do it if they brought that back. I don't know if I'd be able to do it. I think it might be too scary for me.
I mean, I think like the video game fan in me has to experience it.
Yeah.
But ladies and gentlemen, if you did not know by all this wonderful Halloween talk, guys, this is the Halloween special of Tales from the Tavern. It is haunted. It's a haunted special, and it's haunted because we have two prompts that pretty spooky. I would say both of them kind of scare me.
They're both the potential for spookery.
We have Cosmos, submitted by Johnny Sousa, which is, you know, you think about space, it's a scary thing.
There's aliens out there.
There's aliens out there.
They're not always good.
You can't tell me that there aren't because you have no proof that there aren't.
No.
And the second prompt here is Skull Lords, submitted by the Jive Turkey.
Oh, yeah. But you know what? There's nothing jive about that suggestion.
No,
that turkey.
I mean, that is a dead serious, spooky suggestion. And Skull Lords, I'm going to be interested to hear how you interpreted that one.
Yeah, I love Skull Lords. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me, I think when you first told me about the prompts, I brought this up. But anybody who's listening right now that lives in Orlando might remember a haunted attraction they had in Orlando called the Skull Kingdom.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me about this.
Which was a castle with a giant skull in the front. It was a year-round haunted attraction. I actually never got to go to it, but I believe there's some commercials for it up on YouTube that are pretty great.
That's
if you
cool.
Look those up.
Do you think anywhere out there they have video footage of like somebody's like camcorder going through the rides? Because I know people did that for the Epcot Center Horizons, I think it was called, right?
Yeah.
I've seen those clips of like people with like camcorders just walking through the ride.
Yeah, I wonder. I think that's a little harder to do because you're actually on foot in Skull Kingdom.
And I imagine a lot of it's probably dark.
Oh yeah. But no, I wonder. That's a good question. I'm going to look that up as soon as we're done here. I'm not even going to wait to leave. I'm going to look it up right as soon as we're done.
All right. Hey, I'm going to be excited to find what you find. If you want to submit prompts or suggest your own, you can do so by becoming a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/TFTTpod. But what do you say we get right to it here?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I'm going to let the Halloween horror master take it. Take it first.
Let's jack-o'-lantern this pumpkin.
Let's decorate this coffin with cobwebs. I tried.
That's a good one.
I tried.
All right, Dom. Are you ready for another Halloween in Stone's realm?
It is called Halloween there, right?
It is. Well, we're going to call it Halloween.
We're going to call it Halloween.
It is called Halloween. I went back and checked to make sure I didn't come up with some other name for the holiday, and I didn't.
Well, I got to tell you, man, I am ready. After all that Halloween talk, I am ready.
All right. Tonight's episode is called Swordborn the Savage, Nighttime in the Garden of Fear, a.k.a. Halloween 6 Season of the Witch 2,
Yes.
A.K.A. size ain't shit. Far beyond Orkspire, just north of that mysterious stone tablet etched with the lyrics of Mississippi Queen by Mountain, and several miles east of Fart Cove, lies the kingdom of Stone's Realm. It was once a peaceful land, but now has won the title of wackest place to live 6 years in a row from Whack-Ass Neighborhoods magazine. When we last left the kingdom, the evil sorcerer Moraband II had used his dark magic to combine 6 of Stone Realm's best evil warriors into one evil super warrior named Gorn. After being crowned winner of the first annual Moraband II Chili Cook-Off, Gorn took leave of Fortress Moraband with one thing on his mind: destroying Swordborn the Savage. Heading directly into the path of this unstoppable destroyer was none other than Swordborn himself, who, along with his spectral polar bear mount Ghost Bitch, seasoned mercenary Kenjin Falconer and her trained bird of prey Screambird, was on his own journey to find Moraband II and destroy him once and for all. Weary and low on supplies, the team was completely unaware that they were all on a collision course with an evil super warrior the likes of which none of them had ever encountered. But that doesn't matter today because it's Halloween! And this is the Swordborn the Savage Halloween special, starring Swordborn the Savage, Ghost Bitch, Kenjin Falconer, and Screambird, plus a special musical performance by Los Bony Boys. So sit back, grab yourself a mulled goat wine or pumpkin spice brune, and turn the lights down low. There's no turning back now. That was a Haunted Mansion reference. If you didn't get that because you've never been there, you should go. It's a great ride. Hey, I realize the trip to the Disney park is expensive, but you're worth it. Treat yourself. Now give it up for your host, a man who ain't afraid of no ghost, Mr. Monster Mash himself, Swordborn the Savage. Applause, applause, applause. And we fade to Swordborn, Ghost Bitch, and Kenjin lounge next to a roaring campfire. Anybody else hear that? Asked Kenjin. I could have sworn someone just introed us into a Halloween special. Screambird simply rolled her eyes. Sometimes after too much smoke root, Kenjin said annoying things. Swordborn stared up into the cosmos. To quote Warren G., it was a clear black night, a clear white moon. And Swordborn could see the entirety of the Cartarian galaxy laid out before him. There were 7 planets in all, but don't tell that to anyone in Stone's Realm. As far as they're concerned, those are the 7 watchful eyes of the Creatrix, and anyone who says otherwise is asking for a boot party.
The Creatrix. Wonderful.
Hey, Swordborn, what are you thinking about? Asked Kenjin. Inside Swordborn's imagination, we see a goblin with dreads totally grooving while playing calypso music on a steel drum made out of skulls. Swords and stuff, replied Swordborn. But that thing you said before that just reminded me that Halloween is coming up, and now I feel compelled to tell you guys the scariest story I know and ask you what yours is for some reason. That's weird, replied Kenjin, because I had the exact same feeling. Like, I have to tell my scariest story out loud to you guys and then also listen to yours for some reason. Ghost Bitch and Screambird simply nodded. They also felt compelled to do this.
Well, Ghost Bitch is a ghost.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, I kind of know what the scariest story that ever happened to her.
Death.
Ghost death.
Who wants to go first? Asked Swordborn. Screambird screeched. She had a truly terrifying tale to tell. Screambird's tale. It was a beautiful day on Mount Coolio. Mama Falconbird looked over her twin progeny, Lara and Kara. The two snuggled together happy as any falcons could be. Mama Falconbird kissed them each on the head and left the nest in search of worms, and also a little smoke root. Being a single mom sucked. It didn't take long for Lara to get bored. Lara was the more daring of the two, so when Lara got bored, things got dangerous. Often her antics made Kara anxious. Lara would jump back and forth on the nest, sometimes with her eyes closed, just to make her sister squirm. Today, however, Lara was in rare form. She walked right out to the edge of the nest and began leaning over as far as she could. Kara begged her to stop, and finally Lara acquiesced on one condition. Kara had to step out on the edge of the nest herself. No, she didn't want to. Mother said that side of the nest wasn't strong, but Lara pressed her. She called her scared. She said she was a scaredy bird, and then doubled down by calling her a poo-poo smell scaredy bird. Kara couldn't take it. Who could? Carefully, she stepped out to the edge. Lara shook the nest to scare her sister. She warned Kara not to look down as she continued to shake the nest. It was all a joke. What happened next wasn't supposed to happen. Kara wasn't supposed to fall, but she did. Down she plummeted, trying in vain to fly the entire dime. Lara looked down at the horror show below. Then a cat came and started eating Kara in that gross way cats do when they find something, like chewing it real fast, but also kind of spitting it out, too. It was awful. 1 year later, life was still terrible for the Falkenbergs. Mama had developed quite a taste for booze, and Lara was crippled by depression and guilt. The days were bad, but the nights, they were worse. Each night, Lara closed her eyes and watched as her mind played that moment over and over again like a dollar theater that won't stop showing The Force Awakens, even though only 2 people came to see it in the last month. Each night, Lara would shake the nest, and each night, Kara would fall to her doom. But that all changed the night of the anniversary. That night, Lara went to bed as always and prepared for the dream. She closed her eyes expecting the usual feature, but tonight the scene had changed. That night Lara found herself sitting alone in the present. Suddenly, out of the corner of her eye, she detected movement. She looked over and saw a falcon. Mama? No, it couldn't be. This falcon was not right. It was missing feathers, missing parts. It slowly turned its head to face Lara. That's when she saw a familiar face. Her face. The face of her twin. The deteriorated corpse of Kara stared blankly at Lara. Her milky eyes showed no emotion. Slowly she began dragging herself across the nest, propelling her body with her broken legs and gross mite-covered wings. Lara began to back away. She turned to fly, but she couldn't. Why? Lara looked down at her wings. They were gone, replaced by Kara's wings. Lara looked back at her dead sister and could see that she now had the good wings. The next to go were Lara's legs, followed by her feathers and a substantial part of her head. Each and every piece of her was being taken and reclaimed by Kara. Lara was being taken apart piece by piece, and she couldn't wake up. There was nowhere to go but down. Lara used what was left of her strength to flop herself over the edge of the nest, and then down she plummeted, just like Kara, to the ground. With the one good eye she had left that Kara didn't take, Lara watched the scene fade to black. Mama Falconbird returned to the nest that day to find Lara sitting unusually quiet and still. She nuzzled her daughter and found her oddly cold. The small bird slowly turned its head and stared up at its mother with its one good eye. Kara was home. "Wow, what a tale," commented Swordborn. "I mean, I only understood like a quarter of it because my falcon speak is real shitty, but yeah, it was chilling. Just chilling." "Could you even tell what that story was about at all?" Kenjin asked. "No," replied Swordborn. What was it about?" "A dead twin bird ghost revenge story," said Kenjin. "Ah, fuck! That was gonna be mine too! Shit!" said Swordborn, disappointed. Kenjin volunteered to go next. "Now, I know this story is true," Kenjin said. "It happened to someone that a guy who lives with my cousin..." It happened to someone that a guy who lived with my cousin while he was at Rogue Academy. Kenjin's Tale.
Oh.
Gariston Cordelay was a thief. Gariston Cordelay was a murderer. Gariston Cordelay always made sure to piss on the seat of any outhouse he used.
Oh.
He's not a good guy.
No,
he sucks.
No, what a jerk.
Gariston Cordelay was a bad person. He made his living robbing travelers up and down the spice road between Durin and Guildamount, and prided himself on being uncatchable. He would often comment, mostly after several goblets of goat wine, that he would always live to see another day, but never a day of reckoning. One day, Gariston came upon an old gypsy wagon. Of course, he climbed off his horse and went inside without knocking because, as previously stated, this guy is a grade-A asshole. Inside, Gariston found an old gypsy man sitting at a table enjoying a bowl of soup because that's what old men do. Gariston startled the old man. Although he was afraid and unsure what the visitor's intentions were, the old man had a kind heart. He stayed seated and spoke. "Greetings, traveler. Please sit and enjoy some of my feast." Gariston looked at the table. There was a small hunk of bread and a small bowl of soup. Gariston ate the bread in one bite, then turned his attention to the soup. He took a huge swig, then spit it out. "Terrible," said Gariston with disdain. "Your soup tastes like crickets and saproot." "It's crickets and saproot soup," the old man replied. "Oh," said Gariston. "Guess I better take another taste." Once again, Gariston drank and spit. "Nope, still gross," said the thief. He continued to do this until the soup was gone. Then he broke the bowl as well. "And also, your bowl is stupid." What a dick.
A freaking jerk.
"Please," pleaded the old man, "leave my home. I've nothing of value here." The old man attempted to get up, but Gariston quickly drew his blade. "Oh, no, old man. You stay right there," Gariston sneered. "Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna loot this cart, then I'm gonna piss on your toilet seat and leave." Gariston began rifling through the old man's belongings. The man pleaded with him to stop. Then, in the back of a cabinet, Gariston found a small clay jug. "The fuck is this?" he asked. "Be careful, please. That is all that remains of my wife. It's the most precious thing I have." Gariston inspected the jug. It was dumb. Worthless. He smashed it on the floor of the cart. The old man leapt up at Gariston with all his strength, but the thief was quick with his blade and stabbed the withered gypsy right in the guts.
Oh.
The old man stumbled backwards, clutching his abdomen. Then suddenly, a smile crossed his face. He grabbed Gariston's wrist in a vice-like grip. "You will pay for what you've done here today, fool. I call upon Velik, King of the Grave, Lord of the Bones, to rise and collect this debt, to collect your life and your soul. I curse you! I curse you! Curse!" The old man choked on his own blood as he spat these words. Suddenly his eyes rolled back in his head, and his chest heaved as the man, now possessed by gypsy magic, inhaled all the ashes off the floor of the cart, then exhaled 4 times the amount all over the cart and Gariston. The thief began to scream as the old man's skin and musculature fell away, leaving only a skeleton. A cloud of ashes continued to pour from the skull, its bony hand still firmly clenched to Gariston's wrist. With the old man's bones still attached to him, Gariston crashed through the door of the cart, back out into the woods, but he didn't get far. Skeletons began rising like weeds from the ground around him, attaching themselves to any part of his body they could. Gariston fell to the ground screaming, but was quickly silenced as a bony hand found its way to his mouth. Soon he was surrounded in a tomb of bones, and as the weight of the skeletons prevented him from breathing, the life flickered out of Gariston Cordelay's terrified eyes.
Oh, man.
2 travelers had been standing there the entire time watching, but they saw no skeletons, no bones, no ash. All they saw were the crazed last breaths of a man who liked to piss on toilet seats. Son of a bee! Yelled Swordborn. That was my other story! The dude who knew that guy dated my cousin, damn it! Ghost Bitch suddenly sat up and cleared her throat, then spoke in bearish. Swordborn translated. GB says she has a story too, but she's not sure if we'll get it because she's a ghost, and ghost stories told by ghosts are usually really confusing to people. Plus, she's also a bear, so that's like a double whammy of confusion. I say we give it a shot, said Kenjin with a shrug. Ghost Bitch grunted. She says if we're all cool with it, she'll psychically project the story right into our brains. Kenjin and Screambird stare at Swordborn. Okay, cool, let's get started. Ghost Bitch's tale. Waves crashed against the frozen shore of the icy kingdom of Grenislan. Suddenly, they stopped as if frozen in time. Miles away, a polar bear and an orca stared into each other's eyes through a thick sheet of ice. Only the bear was on the water side, and the whale was on the air side. In the sky above them both, a great eye suddenly appeared. It was surrounded by flames, and as it opened, it said, Olintan, Maladosin, Olintan. Oh. Yeah, interrupted Kenjin. I'm going to stop you right there. I think she was right. This is more confusing and disturbing than anything. I'm sorry. Screambird chirped in agreement. Ghost Bitch nodded and shrugged. I guess that just leaves you, Swordborn. Yeah. Right. Okay. Do you not have a story? Asked Kenjin. No, I have one. Okay. Swordborn's tale. It was a really cold day, and this polar bear was looking at a whale, but the whale was underwater. That's Ghost Bitch's story again. And also, you're getting it wrong. Kenjin interrupted. Okay, all right. Jeez. Hold on. Okay, I got one. Swordborn's Tale, Part 2. Nobody knows this, but I actually used to be a cobbler. This one time I got called to deliver a pair of boots to an old abandoned temple. As I entered, I noticed something painted on the wall. Someone had written, "Here comes Freddy," and that freaked me out. But what was worse was I heard a noise, and then I was like, oh shit, this could be a real Freddy. Who is Freddy? Kenjin asked incredulously. Swordborn lowered his head dejected. I don't know. Suddenly a voice came from behind them. What's wrong, Swordborn? Don't you know any scary stories? No, said Swordborn. It can't be. What? Said Kenjin, looking around. Swordborn looked in the weeds next to where he was sitting and saw a wooden sign. Swordborn looked in the weeds next to where he was sitting and saw a wooden sign covered in leaves. He brushed them away and saw that it was the sign for a town. Oh, shit, we're in Terragrin again. Oh, no. That's right, said the voice. Terragrin, home of the worst pumpkin massacre of all time, committed by Swordborn the Savage. Suddenly, from the shadows, a vine appeared, holding aloft a large jack-o'-lantern with an evil grin. Jack Pumpkinman? But how? I crushed you with my bare hands. Right, you did. But guess what? Pumpkins grow back, especially when you leave the seeds behind. Oh, this entire Halloween special was my idea. My pumpkins and I have been feeding on the fear generated by your scary stories. Yes, they weren't great, and really there were only 2 plus 1 weird one, but that was enough. Now we rise. And also, please welcome our musical guest, Los Boney Boys! Oh. Suddenly, the skeleton band Los Boney Boys appeared and began playing an old Halloween tune. Now, I have a story that I'd like to tell about this guy you all know. He had me scared as hell. He comes to me at night after I crawl into bed. He's burned up like a weenie, and his name is Fred.
Oh, no.
As Los Bony Boys played, pumpkins began to grow all around the group. Jack Pumpkinman laughed maniacally. Vines wrapped themselves around the legs and arms of Swordborn and Kenjin. "There's just one problem, Jack," said Swordborn. "Oh, yeah? What might that be?" "You're still pumpkins." With that, Swordborn rose to his feet once again, snapping the pumpkin vines just like he did last time. "No, not again!" screamed Jack. Then, yet again, the stomping began in Terragrin, and it was gross. All seeds and guts and pumpkins stink. Ugh. As the sun rose the next morning, Swordborn, Kenjin, and Ghostbitch stomped the few remaining pumpkins that were left while Screambird ate their guts. "What should we do about the seeds?" asked Kenjin. "We don't want this to happen again next Halloween." Swordborn drew the Sword of Ages from its scabbard. "Roast!" bellowed Swordborn. He pointed the sword at the pumpkin patch, and not only did it perfectly roast the seeds, it also seasoned them with a little salt and a pinch of cinnamon. With that, the Halloween special was over. The group began to exit the camp, when suddenly Swordborn stopped, turned, and looked over his shoulder at you, the listener. Good God, his eyes! They've become yellow cat eyes. And he's smiling as if to say, "Oh, snap, it was real, y'all." Freeze frame, Vincent Price laugh. Roll the Thriller credits. We out. Peace, love, and pumpkins. Happy Halloween.
Can you do a Vincent Price laugh? That's good. That's a good Vincent Price laugh. That was a wonderful Halloween special. It deserves to be on TV. It's so good.
Thank you. Fuck you, Charlie Brown. Boom.
Yeah, you bunk ass bitch. Yeah, that was wonderful. The seeds. The seeds is so true.
The pumpkins grow back.
Pumpkins grow back. I love a toasted pumpkin seed.
Oh, I was just talking about that the other day. My kids have never had them.
I haven't had them in a long time.
We're going to make some pumpkin seeds. Maybe I'll save some for you if you want.
Hey, I want to come by and I want to have some of those.
All
Maybe
right.
I'll see them at the next Lusty Horde show.
Oh, perhaps. Yes.
Yeah. A little bit of cinnamon I've never done. I've only just did a little bit of salt.
Yeah, I usually only do a little bit of salt too, but I felt like these needed a little extra kick. There's a lot of seeds there.
Yeah, cinnamon's a great addition to just about anything.
I'm not going to lie. I like my pumpkin seeds a little more savory.
Yeah?
In fact, if I could do it all over again, I might take the cinnamon out of that Swordborn recipe.
I liked it.
Okay.
I liked it.
Leave it?
You know what? It's your story, buddy.
No, I'm kidding. By the way, did you recognize the lyrics of that Los Bony Boys song?
I did not.
That was the opening of Nightmare on My Street by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince.
Nightmare on My Street. I when I was growing up, I saw the Fat Boys video and it really scared me. What is that? What is that one called?
The Fat Boys video?
Yeah, because they did a Freddy song.
Did
too.
they really?
Yeah.
How many people were doing Freddy songs in the 80s?
I'm gonna have to. Let's ask Siri. Siri, Fat Boys, Freddy Krueger. Google it.
I feel like the Fat Boys.
Are you ready for Freddy?
Oh no, I've never heard that one.
Yeah. Well, I'll have to play it for you.
I wish you could go out at the end of the podcast with one of these songs.
I know.
But you can't.
You
right?
can't. Yeah,
Okay.
they're licensed. But hey, man, Halloween time. A time for scares.
Oh yeah.
A time for a little tale about Cosmos and Skull Lords. This
hear
one's
it.
called The Skeleton Pit.
Oh no, the skeleton pit.
The pit of skeletons.
Yeah, well, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The skull of a skeleton. Completely symmetrical. Except for its eyes, not so much. A few teeth were missing, too. Maybe it had been a prize fighter. Or maybe it was just some guy who got beat up for the entertainment of others, like some kind of freak show.
Oh.
I was a doctor, the skeleton said. Wretched fiend, a voice shouted. Smash! The stone head of a heavy hammer met the skull, first shattering the bone, and then, as the bone chips floated into the darkness of the crypt, it drifted into bone dust, which could get you high if you inhaled it.
Oh!
That's what I heard, anyway. It's true. You can get high if you inhale that stuff, said Bennigan the necromancer. I don't know if you've heard that before, but yeah, it's true.
Oh, my God.
You would know that, wouldn't you, you foul monster, said Brett the paladin. Stop calling me names, the necromancer replied. Raising the dead? The paladin spat on the ground. His plate armor clinked together as he moved. It is disgusting. If it's so disgusting, then why did you pay me to do it? The man turned away from the summoner. The reasons of the light outweigh the consequences of dealing with dark individuals such as yourself. You mean the ends justifies the means? I am not paying you to give me a teach. Summon, I say. The paladin readied his hammer. The necromancer sighed. All right, dude, just chill out, okay? I actually think I'm a pretty nice guy. The necromancer held out his palm as he closed his eyes and shook a little bit. Out of the crypt's dirt came an old, dirty skeleton, just covered in dirt. Yo, said the skeleton. Boom! The skeleton exploded with a baseball swing of the paladin's massive hammer, connecting with the skeleton square in the ribcage.
Oh.
Bones rained inside the crypt. So what's the point of all this, anyway? Asked Bennigan. I need not share the secrets of the light with the likes of you, the paladin shot back. But if you must know, I'm preparing for the arrival of the Skull Lord.
Oh.
Skull Lord? The Skull Lord. What is that, like a big old skull? I am unsure, he said. The paladin rested his hammer on the ground again. The prophecy told to me gave no description, only an inevitable arrival and immediate doom, which I will persevere. Well, I'm a necromancer and I never heard of it, Bennigan replied. Hey, maybe they were talking about me, since I pull skulls out of the ground and stuff. You, the paladin scoffed, a lowly summoner such as yourself could never be the likes of a lord. That's not nice. Skeletons, the paladin shouted. Skeletons for fighting! Get them up here! He picked up his hammer and got into battle stance. Again, the necromancer closed his eyes, and out of the ground grew a tall skeleton. It glanced around the room. Hey, I'm back, it said. Crack! The paladin's plate boot connected with the back of the skeleton's skull, knocking it clean off.
There's a lot of good-natured skeletons in this tomb. They're all kind of nice guys.
Yeah, you're brought back to the surface for the first time. You have to have a moment of like, Crack! The paladin's plate boot connected with the back of the skeleton's skull, knocking it clean off. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Yelled the skull as it flew across the dark room, soon meeting the brick wall and shattering into bone dust. A rat got high and tripped balls.
Oh, yeah!
Dem balls.
Oh, no!
Hashtag dem balls.
That's for that guy.
That's for that guy. That's for you, too.
Thank you. Yeah,
dem balls.
You know I love them balls. Hashtag them balls. Hashtag that ass.
Hashtag that ass. Hashtag that tip. Hashtag dem balls. Brett completed his pivot on his hammer's handle, landing the roundhouse kick that he had learned in paladin school perfectly. Again, the paladin commanded. The necromancer held out his palm. You said $20 a skeleton, right? Yes, he said as he bent over and grabbed a vial from his bag that laid on the ground. $20 for each skeleton in preparation for my battle with the Skull Lord. He took a swig from the vial of water. Sweet, gonna get a brand new hat. Bennigan vibrated. Bennigan vibrated again. His hat was old and almost shook off his poor head while summoning a skeleton who was missing a hand.
No!
Hey, you guys know where my wife is? The skeleton asked. Brett spit the water all over the skeleton's dirty old bones. Tss. Ah! Yelled the skeleton as he melted. You jerk!
Oh, he felt that. That's horrifying.
Bennigan shook his head. He had a wife. You know what? That one was just kind of felt really bad. An evil wife, Brett added. If he wasn't evil, holy water would have no effect. Come on, I mean, you don't know that, Bennigan shot back. Come! Summon another one of your monstrosities, and I will show you who they really are. Bennigan sighed. That brand new hat suddenly seemed no longer worth it. He closed his eyes and mustered a stronger summon, perhaps something more formidable for the vengeful paladin. Out of the ground came a pair of skeletons conjoined at the hip. Hey, everybody, we're Tom and Tommy, and this is our show. Well, you don't go walking when it's raining outside. Uppercut! The plate gauntlet connected with the jaw of Tom, the singer. His skull flew into the ceiling of the crypt and did not come down. Hey! Shouted Tommy the dancer, when the paladin backhanded his skull, sending it spinning around his neck. The paladin punched the skeletons until they fell onto the ground. He stomped on their rib cages, crushing their bones beneath his metal boot. He got down on his knees, grabbed a femur, and began forcing it back into the dirt. Back from whence you came, you boned-out bodies! Hey, man, hey, you are disrespecting these guys. Another skeleton now, shouted the paladin, eyes wide. Bennigan was disgusted. It was clear to him that there was no stopping the paladin. He would just have to tire himself out now, when Bennigan realized that he would have to use both hands. Palms forward, eyes closed, old hat almost falling off his head, the necromancer summoned the biggest skeleton he could ever conjure. The whole ground shook, and out of it came the huge skeleton of a cyclops, in a suit of black armor, claymore, and a black crown atop his head. And a regular tiny skeleton was summoned too. Bennigan really tried. Yo, said the huge skeleton.
Another yo.
I heard someone was abusing skeletons up here. Skull Lord! Yelled Brett in a shout of confusion and rage. That's me, Lord Kranos. The tiny skeleton looked at the towering Skull Lord. He barely fit inside the crypt. His cyclopean skull was cool, and the armor was really impressive. And a black crown? That's awesome. Then you get to say, for the black crown, when you kill people or yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The skeleton then took a look at Bennigan. His robe wasn't even black. It was dark green, and there were oil stains on the bottom of it from where Bennigan had dropped his food.
Aw.
The skeleton glanced back and forth between the two. He pointed a finger at Bennigan. Hey, man, I quit this job. I'm working for this guy from now on, it shouted. Lord Kranos accepts your pledge. He turned his black socket to Bennigan. And who are you? Just a necromancer, sir, the summoner replied. Friend of the skeletons? You may stay. Yes, the necromancer whispered to himself.
Yes.
Skull Lord, shouted the paladin, pointing his hammer at him. I will defeat you and every skeleton I ever see. The Skull Lord shook his head. I see. Skeleton inside this one's no good. Hup! He piped as his huge claymore came down upon the paladin. In his final moments, Brett didn't even feel the blade. He watched as his body lay in pieces on the ground, with Bennigan and the Skull Lord looking over him. He watched as he went through the cathedral, above the crypt, with its stained glass windows featuring some guy enjoying a cold one. He watched the entire building become a dot on the world map of Orkspire.
Oh, no.
Further, he drifted until he saw the blue ocean wide and another continent with a big sign that said, Stones Realm, population get fucked.
Yeah.
And another one just beyond that, as it all spun on a ball in black nothingness, with other worlds existing with their own out-of-this-world problems, some great space away. Brett stopped drifting. He sat there for a moment and took it all in. Oh, I was a star the whole time, formerly known as Brett said to himself. This entire time I was a frickin' star. We're all just celestial energies. I got so worked up over so many things. Dang! That's funny. The end.
And that, by the way, is scientifically accurate if your head gets sent up to space. Or is that his spirit that went up there?
Yeah, so it's not too direct, but he gets sliced in half and he watches as he drifts into space.
Okay, all right, I love it.
It's
and he turned into a star.
It's the best ride you ever go on.
I have to say, I thought the choice to make Skull-Lord a Cyclops skeleton was great.
Oh, I just really like the old fantasy fiction logo, the one that our friend Ryan Jampol had done. I have like a battle strap, and on it are the skulls of Cyclops, and I was like, God, I love a Cyclops skull, so that inspired me to throw that in there. And
I could have listened to the skeletons rising from the earth all day, especially the conjoined twins,
Tom and Tommy. Yes. I really like those guys.
Oh, the Skull-Lord. What's he gonna do now?
Well, I imagine he goes back down into the underworld, and next time skeletons are being horribly abused.
Yeah.
I mean, you fight a skeleton, you come across a skeleton, skeletons are scary, you might kill it. But to make someone summon them just to kill them, I mean, that's just kind of cruel. Especially Tom and Tommy. They seem like nice guys.
That's abuse.
Yeah, that's abuse.
Plain and simple.
Plain and simple.
To all you paladins out there, and all you summoners, don't bring people back from the dead just so you can fuck with them and then eventually kill them.
Yeah, and like, what about that one guy who got brought back up and he's like, where's my wife?
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, bring up
He had the worst death.
Poor guy.
He got melted.
He got melted by holy water.
Although I will say the paladin did have a point.
Well, who knows? I mean, maybe it's just has a greater effect against the undead. That doesn't necessarily mean evil. That's kind of his own interpretation of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll buy it.
Happy Halloween. Tim, I'm still thinking about Swordborn not knowing a story.
Well, if you think about it, like he started off as just a regular dude, but he's been a magic barbarian for a long time. So, like, he's seen some shit, which is probably scarier than any ghost story. Although that's also the mark of a boring person when you don't know any good ghost stories.
True, but I mean, Freddy's Coming is pretty scary. Freddy's Coming. Oh my gosh. I love Freddy, man.
Oh, Freddy.
Do you have a favorite Freddy movie or moment?
I like the original Nightmare on Elm Street. That's my favorite one.
It's great.
Although Dream Warriors is like, I like that one too, just because it's so weird. But I thought the second Nightmare on Elm Street was pretty crappy. I didn't like that one.
Well, did you know that the second one is a pretty blatant metaphor for homosexuality?
I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
Next time you watch it, thinking about it. 'Cause I think someone had told me a story where they had brought that up to the people who made it in a Q&A, and they were like, yeah, at the time we were trying to do that, but I guess it is pretty blatant.
Wow.
Yeah, because there's like the gym teacher is in S&M gear when he gets killed. Like he's punishing him by like making him take his showers. I don't know. Check it out. Think about it next time you see it.
No, I gotta watch it again.
There is a great effect moment though where he's peeling off his face and it's Freddy underneath. I really like.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the poster's great too, where it's like a shining eye and he's holding his girlfriend and the hand is a glove.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting that both that and like Halloween have that one-off weirdo, not anything like the rest of the series movies.
Yeah, what was funny is I was just talking to a friend of mine the other night about how if they had released Season of the Witch for Halloween as the second movie, not only would it have changed the course of the franchise because it would have made it more of like an anthology franchise, but it probably would have also killed it.
Yeah, I think it would have. I mean, I think Halloween 2 grossed more than Halloween 1.
Yeah.
And Halloween 2's got a great poster.
Yeah.
The skull on the pumpkin.
Yeah.
Did you see those Frankenstein pumpkins?
No.
Yeah, there's this thing, I guess like they're available in some like Walmarts or something, but Yeah, they basically grew a pumpkin inside a mold so that the front of it has a Frankenstein face on it.
Oh,
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of really cool. I saw them. Some look better than others, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, oh, that's... You don't even have to carve that. That is just Frankenstein's face.
I love it.
That's kind of cool because you could paint it. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
Fuck you, Walmart. I do not want to come buy pumpkins from you, but I will come look at one.
I will look at a Frankenstein pumpkin up close.
Dom, I have to say, there was some... Halloween aside, we had some Halloween fun here today. But we also had some pretty deep world building built into both of our stories.
Yeah.
For instance, I defined the space of around the outside of the planet, like that Stone's realm is on, forgetting when I did that Orcspire and Stone's realm are on the same planet.
Well, it is just beyond.
Yes,
Orcspire, Stone's realm's location.
And we now know, thanks to your story, what happens to people after they die.
Yeah, they go right up into space.
Right up and turn into stars.
And turn into stars. What a wonderful thing.
Guys, that means that every character that's died so far in the history of this show is just up there hanging out, except for Ghost Bitch. She's chilling down there on the planet. And any other ghosts.
Yeah, ghosts are the ones that decide to stay. A ghost is... You know, they were like, "Hey, man, you can go fly wherever you want now." And the ghost says, "No, I'm still a person. This is where I live. This is my house. Get out of my house."
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, just go up to space already.
Come on, just fly up there and turn into a star.
Yeah, have fun.
You'll see the planet. You'll be like an astronaut.
Speaking of planets, how about that eye in your story, in that nightmare, that ghost
bitch's scary story?
It is disturbing. That was very spooky.
Yeah.
I mean, a ghost's scary story. That is next level shit. And you took it to the next level. And I think that's because of the prompt Cosmos. It's a challenge to get that in there, but it just opened up the world, man.
Yeah. It was a good prompt. It was a good. These were both good.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. Skull Lords. I don't know what a Skull Lord is, but now we do.
Yep. Those are always the best too, by the way. When it's like something that can be defined in multiple ways or portrayed in multiple ways. Those are the best ones.
Yeah, they are a lot of fun. Like Candle,
best. Soap. That was another good one. Mm-hmm. How about Coffee Mug? Remember that crazy episode?
That crazy episode with the coffee mug. Let me tell you, it was a lot to write. Hey, man, I got a question for you.
Yep.
When is the next time the people of Los Angeles can see you perform in your sci-fi fantasy improv show, The Lusty Horde?
Well, I'll tell you, Dom. The next time The Lusty Horde is performing is going to be Friday, November 11th at 9 o'clock at the Pack Theater in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. It's a pay-what-you-can theater, so that means pay what you can.
So if you can't pay anything... Get in there.
But pay what you can. And it'll be a great show. There might be some stuff to drink if you come.
There will be, because I'll be there, and I'll bring beer.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring beer.
Dom's coming to the show. I bet Ryan and Megan will be there again.
I think so, yeah. I think they will.
Which, by the way, if they're listening right now, thanks for coming and supporting the Lusty Horde.
Hey, if you haven't seen improv in a while, if you've never seen an improv show, it's a lot of fun. Because, I mean, if you like the topics you hear on this show, it's very much about that. I believe the one we saw last time was about a space circus.
Yes.
Maybe not directly related to what I was just talking about. But the time before that, well, that one was an underground cyborg kind of crazy world. Another sci-fi one.
That was a sci-fi one. We actually did one on Monday of this week at the West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica. That was, it was a magic halberd.
Oh,
that,
nice.
Would allow the wielder to kill these creatures called Slytherines who would actually go inside people's dreams and eat their dreams.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. And that's made up on the spot, you guys. You like suggesting your prompts for the show? You could suggest your prompts for their show. What do you guys ask? You ask for...
We ask for usually 4 different things.
So like an item, a place.
Yeah. Sometimes something very specific. Kevin in the group always asks for people's favorite non-gunpowder based weapon. So that's when we get things like halberd.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I almost said knife last time, but somebody else said hammer.
Yeah.
So,
hey, you know what blew my mind? Someone told me a glaive. If I say glaive to you, what do you think of?
I think of like 3 pointed ends on like a kind of a huge ninja star. That's my best way of describing it.
Yes, because of the thing from Krull, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that there's a whole different, like there's an actual thing called a glaive that has nothing to do with that? I learned that the other night.
What is it?
I don't remember now.
Does Illidan from World of Warcraft or Warcraft period, I think he uses glaives, and they're like kind of like a Darth Maul, but for swords. I don't want to explain it any more than that, because you know.
Never mind.
But yeah, Lusty Horde, Pack Theater, 9 p.m., November 11th. And November 9th, if you got to see more, Tim, you'll be at...
Oh, that night, if you're a wrestling fan, we're doing a show at 10 at the West Side Comedy Theater called Cut That Promo.
It's the best premise for a show, in my opinion. That isn't an improv. Well, is it improv?
It is improvised, yes.
Oh.
So on November 9th, for any wrestling fans out there, I'm going to be at the West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica at 10 o'clock doing a show called Cut That Promo, which is a wrestling promo-themed improv show. So this guy this guy I know, he's a manager out here in one of the independent wrestling
Circuits,
promotions.
Yeah.
And his name is Christian Rosenberg, and he and Eli Drake from TNA are going to be up on stage chatting, and then over the course of the hour, performers, myself included, will be coming up with their own wrestling personas to cut promos.
Can you give us a glimpse of some of the characters you've played?
I can tell you the last time I was on the show, I was part of a tag team that was called the Wrestling Boys with a Z, and we were sort of like a parody of the Hart family.
Oh, okay.
And so we had been like trained by our dad in his weird basement wrestling room. One of us was really boisterous, and the other one was super soft-spoken. You couldn't even understand him. It's a fun time. There's a lot of great, crazy characters, and it also brings in a lot of super talented improvisers to do the show. So if you like wrestling and you live out here, you should come on down November 9th at 10 to the West Side Comedy Theater.
So that's great, man. I can't wait for the Lusty Horde show. I'm going to try and make it to that West Side Comedy Theater as well, because I don't think I've been there yet.
No, it's a great theater space. Both of them are.
The Pack Theater is on Theater Row in Hollywood.
Yep.
Yeah, new theater. Very cool.
Doing really well.
There's
a lot
out.
of exciting things going on there.
I'll have beer. You show me your ID. I'll give you one. And then when you're done that one, you can ask for another one.
Yeah.
So, one at a time.
Come down and say hi.
Tim, thanks so much for making the Halloween special super Halloween.
I'm so glad I got to do another one.
You, last one was great. Had a great time. You really did Halloween an honor this week.
Wow.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It was wonderful.
Thank you.
Great,
I love
job.
Halloween.
Yeah. Well, hey, everyone. Have a nice Halloween. Have a happy Halloween. And, yeah, we'll see you in a year. The Halloween special will. Okay, see everybody. Bye-bye. Theme music was provided by Ian Bennett. You can check out more of his work at ianbennettmusic.com. Interstitial and end themes were created by Toursland. You can listen to more of his work at soundcloud.com/Toursland. Podcast artwork was provided by Ryan Jampole. And I'd like to thank the following Patreon supporters who help make this show possible. Thank you, Joachim Sandberg, Azim Zaman, Robert Codd, Taylor Dirks, Jess Cuby, Jackson Bowden. Thank you, The Jive Turkey, Robert Moon, Alan M.K. Jenkins, Bryce Poulin, Evan Bauer, Richard Williams, Nicholas Hall, Matt Cross. Thank you, Zhang Keefe, Jesse Battolino, Thomas Hardacker, Timothy Johnson, Joey Gonovichev, Paul Walker, Evan Stone. Thank you, Macho Muffin Randy Savage. Thank you, Michael Vazadka, Justin Weiss, Axel Rock, Ethan Obama, William Fortin, John Luke, JT Radzai, Jeff Warbrick. Thank you, Michael Hassall, Joe Scott, Cody Cloninger, David Sandoval, Tim Jennings. Thank you, Brock Mizukow, Jonas Blotterman, Hannah Diaz, Brian Wood, Jacob Livingston, Johnny Sousa, Heath Robinson. Thank you, Derek Dalton, Aubrey Sitterson, Andre Villanueva, Mike Cargiglio, Big Stank McBlue Jeans. Thank you, David Gray, David Lee, Wade Norcross, Russell Kasberg. Thank you, Ryan Kolka, Peter Wazorek, Jack Hughesman. Thank you, Jonathan Carville, Daniel Medavere, Nathan Walker, Jordan Cope, Kirby Taylor, Joseph Dukes, David Hugh Tailing, Joseph Richard Toyohama, Luke Noodles. Thank you, Seb Batista, Dustin Dizzlerod, Pat, Timothy Matt Scully, Ty McMillan, Alex, just Alex, Brian DeLeon, Eric Jatt, Dan Archer, David Watts. Thank you, TJ Denzer, Ben E., Nicholas Cole, Brian Shelbourne, Ben Smith, Connor Stewart, Hollis Hornbeak, Josh Shumney. Thank you, Todd Bryanton, Matt Branton, Nicholas Riley, Clay McCartney, Yanni Markovina, Peter Eng, Brad Davis. Thank you, James Archibald, David Wacott, Just Jason, Teresa Steele, Cal Woods Butterman, Dylan McCann, and thank you, Balby Radical. Thanks to everybody for their continued support of Tales from the Tavern. We'll see you real soon. Have a happy Halloween, everybody.